You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying. But we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more. That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Everett 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
The Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renaissance using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
we might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
I wonder what Hilganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
We've reached our destination.
Hey.
Yes.
Just great.
How's this?
Got it.
Hey! Yay!
All right.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten...
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least,
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why...
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a...
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helgang?
Can't say I'd ever noticed...
Connect the dots!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not... hugely? Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because...
Get him, Hootle.
Oh,
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
ow, ow, ow! Seriously!
I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know. I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Shion, stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Welcome back, Law.
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Hey, Alfred, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy! Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow!
Hey.
Hey!
Yes!
Right.
Sure.
I don't believe this! Ah! Okay! Great! Good. Nice work. Ah!
But this is...
Wow. Yes!
Oh!
Amazing! Nice work. Very nice.
Thanks.
Yes! Okay!
senses something.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Hey.
Hmm?
Yes. Oh.
Yay! What? Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
We avoided getting roasted in that ring. What we It really use is something to cap this off.
Sure. Got any ideas on what would be good?
Mabo curry. Fried bread stuffed with curry.
You'd probably buy out the whole stock.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof. Over our heads.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away. Hey. If we find anyone who needs help here...
I know. We'll make sure to ask what's wrong.
Yeah! Hey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah! Just great.
I guess... Thanks.
Huh?
Well... All right.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I guess.
Whew.
Got it.
We've reached our destination.
I think Hoodle senses something.
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
I found some equipment.
let me...
Who?
Take a look at it.
Who? Who?
Look, Hootle! One of your buddies! Woo! Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zoogle in that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter?
I thought...
Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
Think we can take that one?
Well, if you're up for... Let's dispose of the trash.
Not in your dreams! Tempest!
Bet that shell's hiding something dangerous.
Freeze Lancer!
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Back in their defenses!
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be.
Eat dirt!
Leave the enemy's arc to me.
Here I come!
No place here.
Back to
Winds of
blade!
heaven! First force!
There!
I can carve through armor.
I'm not done!
Glacial Spear!
Lightning thrust! Start up!
Freeze Lancer! Air thrust!
Vacuum blade!
Heaven and earth!
Take this.
A wild fancy of lightning!
I can carve through armor.
Vacuum blade!
From difficult onto your arc!
There!
Here I come!
You may be strong, but I'll never back down!
Here goes lightning
There!
converting!
Denied. Dance on the wind.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Radiant light!
Not today!
Rotating pile driver.
Goodbye, Virgin!
Okay, here I go! Vacuum blade!
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
It looks like you've got this
I
one
don't know
covered.
what I see.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Oh, Violet Guardian One. Don't mind if I do. Winds of heaven! First force!
Soaring blood.
In here! Healing thunder! Shot pile!
Strike!
By the power of flame!
Thank you.
Air thrust!
A thrilling performance.
A wailing fancy of lightning!
This one's all mine!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Eat dirt!
Lightning for the waters of creation!
In a bind.
Dance in mortal droplets!
I can carve through. Knock it into next week. Down on the ground.
Here I come! Vacuum blade!
Down on the ground.
There!
Denied. Begin. Soaring blast.
All disasters made one! Consort and Helix of Purity! Nail thrust! One more time! Waters of creation! Arch shield! Not on my watch!
Vacuum blade!
Raging cascade!
Vacuum blade!
A chain between heaven and
I
earth!
can carve through armor.
A winner!
No! Can't end here!
Don't leave the heart now! One blade! A chain between heaven and earth! Back from depths of
Down on the
wailing
ground.
fancy of
Demon
lightning!
lash.
Divine!
Eagle ray.
The waters of creation!
Penumbra.
Dance in mortal droplets!
That'll bring you down.
Tidal wave!
I'll grind you into dust. Ready to go.
Flame of fury! Burning!
I'll smash you.
Eat this!
Amazing. Swallow dance. I'm on a roll now.
Ice prison!
Swallow dance. I don't even know the word defeat. In a bind.
Here! Ice prison! I'll heal you all!
You picked the wrong fight! Resonate with the
I'll finish you here and now! Take this! I'll smash you!
The waters of being
Here goes! Swallow dance!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
Ribbon tear!
Lightning ray!
Rotating pile driver! Swallow dance! Eagle ray! Ribbon tear!
Wind astral energy! Alright!
Target down!
Eagle assault! Here's the
Swallow
leveling! Magic is out!
First strike! Swallow
Take
dance!
this!
First aid! Lightning orb! Dance in the wind!
Showtime! Now you see what I can do!
I'll blind you with its dust!
Through captivity! Swallow dance! Burn in hell!
I'll face you!
I never miss! There you go! Don't let up!
Take this!
Light
Ready and
astral
ready.
I'm expert! Come through!
I'll steal my
you.
weary companion!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
A chain between heaven and earth. Lunar
Swallow
corruption!
dance!
Jedi
awesome!
Reload! Let's get you all tucked away.
Watch yourself!
Spear!
Incredible power!
Release the deity! Demon blast! Begin! Soaring blast!
It was nice while it lasted.
Coming!
Not on my watch!
Ready to go!
Not today!
Almost down on the
We
ground!
are
Showtime! Everlasting dance! I'm on a roll now! Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver! Armor won't save you!
far beyond the
Swallow
dark
dance!
side.
I'm on a roll now!
Steel!
Far enough!
Where are you going?
Ready in a bind? Death Blossom!
A chain between
Swallow dance!
Death on the wind!
I'm going to need to use all the power
Swallow
I'm
dance!
feeling like
Heaven tear!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Swallow dance!
Power high!
I can carve through armor!
Tempest whirl!
Used too much!
Swallow dance!
Lunar blaster
On the ground!
Celestial runner!
Resonate with the
Swallow
orb!
dance!
Hey!
Eat that!
Unexpert!
Swallow dance!
Power of dreams!
You picked the wrong fight!
You're not playing around!
No further!
Eat this! Swallow dance!
You're not!
Soaring ready and ready! Now you see what I can do! Eagle Ray! Nothing gets by me! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike! I'm on
Heal
far
my
enough.
weary companion!
Swallow dance!
Cure all good!
Hear my call!
Swallow dance! What's this?
Sweet now!
Not my fight.
I couldn't make it in time.
Stalagmite! Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Now we're
No
not...
pay for that!
A whirling struggle!
No further!
Winds of annihilation!
First strike!
Mega ray!
Swallow dance!
Annihilation!
Eating pile driver! Burn! Take
Tornado drive!
Now you see what I can do!
Dance, immortal
What's
droplet!
this? Glimmer dragon!
Into
Deity!
the shadows! Tidal wave! One more time!
Swallow dance!
Ready and ready!
Watch yourself!
Now you see what I can do!
Incredible power!
Death Blossom!
Dance in the wind! Arch steel! Mega ray! Here comes
No further!
glacial spear! Here's the evil!
Eat this! Far enough!
Steel! Freeze laser! Air thrust!
Even
Water!
No further!
Too
Dance,
slow!
immortal droplet! Primed and ready!
Rip and tear!
This one's mine!
Ready and
Tidal
ready!
wave!
I can carve through armor!
Dance in the wind!
The
Air
blade
bring
of
you back
darkness
from death
yearns to
abyss!
be let free! Ignite!
I'm on it!
Resuscitation!
Swallow dance!
All disasters made one! For the healing of
Swallow
purity!
dance! Death Blossom! Awesome! One final push!
Now let's finish this off!
I'll do my best not to disappoint.
Far beyond the darkest hour! I call upon thee!
Swallow dance!
Glacial Spear!
Rip its head! Eat this!
Seal! I don't even know the word defeat.
Talent Hurricane!
Here's a healing art!
Death Can't get out of this! Lost my focus!
Watch yourself! Sense incredible power.
To me!
The waters of creation! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
The picture of heaven! Do it!
Forgive me. This is my
Anything normal is all mine!
I've let you all down.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation!
Unity of lightning!
I can't lose!
March requires complete focus! Shining supernova! Charge from depth abyss! Arctic waterfall! In here!
Elusive deity!
There!
Dim!
Again!
No paper! Take this!
Made one! Come forth!
Take this! Pieces! Attack time!
Annihilation! Nail struck!
First strike! Watch this! Crescent slash!
Eastern! Raging storm! Where are you going?
Swallow shattering!
Pieces!
Pieces! Attack time!
Celestial runner!
Swallow dance!
I'm...
Talent Hurricane! Oh, you are just paid for that! Soaring blast!
Do you require a hand?
I'm
In a
just
vine?
getting started!
Not my finest.
Burning strike! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life! Resuscitation!
Let's go!
No cancel!
Reload!
Swallow dance!
Bring you back from death
Such
to base.
unadulterated fury.
Resuscitation!
Eagle Ray!
I've still got some fight left.
I'll finish you here and
I
now!
won't give up.
Hear my weary companion! Eat this! Swallow dance! Penumbra! I'm on! I'm just all good! That freaking does it! Eagle Ray! Do it! Burn in hell! Ready and ready!
Shouldn't have messed with me.
Swallow dance!
What was I thinking?
Ruin.
Corruption!
Now you see what I can do.
I'm on a roll now!
From beyond,
Swallow dance!
imbue this vanquished soul with life.
I'll finish you here and now! Glimmer Dragon!
Still got some fight healing circle!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that'd be silly.
I'll finish you here
I
and now!
won't give up! I won't forgive you! Seal!
With the earth!
Its armor's too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest.
You're mine!
Blacking parts are weak points!
Fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Let the marksman handle this!
Strike! Strike!
I can carve through armor!
Ignite!
Tidal wave! Dance the wind! One more! Not the way!
Well, you're done!
Heaven and earth! It looks like you got this one covered!
No escape!
By the power of love, that'll bring you down!
Vacuum blade! Let us take to the fray!
Lightning orb! You're my call!
Oh, no, no!
Whoa, hey! One at a time!
Anything in armor is all mine!
There!
In here!
Stay away from my friends! Here I come!
I'll bring you back from death to this! Close one! Magic
Take it!
Field! Glacial spear! Here's the there with the others!
There! It's on!
It's in your hands now.
One at a time in order to accomplish this!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down.
Vacuum blade!
Lightning orb!
Vacuum blade! There! I won't lose. Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help!
Ha! Eater!
Is that a healing art?
It is. I can't ignore your pain.
I'll try to be more careful.
I'll face you! I'll smash you! It's time! No escape! No further! I'm not done!
Outstanding form! Frozen red!
Soaring blast!
This one's mine!
Eagle ray! Crush!
Lightning
I'll face you!
By the power of God! Between heaven and earth! Confiscated!
Ready and soaring blast!
Shining supernova!
Take this!
Whoa! One at a time!
Eat this! Down on the ground! Vacuum blade! There!
Wind
blade!
First force!
There!
Water! In here!
Soaring blast!
Candy!
I'll
Illuminate
smash you!
the magic annihilation!
You're mine!
Only land!
Denied! Elusive deity can't get out of this! A thrilling performance. Begin! I'll fly into the south! It engulfs you! Wide open! It won't escape me!
Hold on to your art! Here I
Soaring
come!
blast! Vacuum blade!
Purge malevolence! Arcade water god in your dream!
Crush!
Lunar
Vacuum
blade!
blade!
Lunar blade! Showtime!
Vacuum blade!
Tempest war! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Celestial
Vacuum
laser!
blade!
Freeze laser! Tunnel!
Vacuum blade!
Raging cascade! Power! Spread! Blah blah blah! Freeze laser!
Armor won't save you!
Finish without a trace!
Take this!
Art expert coming through!
There! There!
Explosion! Burning? Not on my watch! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Freeze laser!
Soaring blast!
I never miss!
Vacuum blade! No further!
There you go! Don't let up!
Flame inside me! Is this it?
Don't give up! I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation!
I owe you one. You're mine! Armor won't save you!
Illuminate the dark!
No blade will break this night! Eagle ray! It's on! Eat this! Elusive deity! Vacuum blade!
Between heaven and earth! Lunar blast! A wailing banshee of lightning!
Take it!
Hold on to your arm! Here I come!
In a vine?
Thank you.
Vacuum blade! Stop!
Hit!
Take this! I can carve through armor! Escape!
Healing circle!
They might glacial blade!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! Reflecting thy sins! They make it!
Lightning orb! Light astral purge malevolence! Magic is
All
out!
mine! Eat this! Execution!
Leave now!
Vacuum blade!
Let's get it!
I'm adulterated.
Watch out in your dreams!
Here I come! I'll smash you! Try harder!
Between heaven and
My
earth!
turn!
This one's mine!
In a vine? Vacuum blade!
Don't you think so? Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Heal my favorite companion! Try harder! My turn!
Into the shadows!
Now I can let loose! There!
Mega ray!
Vacuum blade!
Annihilation!
Shuffling thrust! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing art!
Here I come!
First aid!
Heal!
Heal
This one's all mine! Not today! Ancient ruin! Vacuum blade! You'll pay for that!
Holy land! Back from
I
death's
can
abyss!
carve through armor! Nothing gets by me!
Resuscitation! Just on Dr. Orders! All the power of my healing
Let me
arts to
free
accomplish!
you of
Crazy
power.
Down in the wind! Let's show you what my arcane between heaven and earth! Shine!
Resonate with the earth!
Banshee of lightning!
No escape! Far enough! Now I can let loose! You up!
Hold on to your art!
Vacuum
Here I go!
blade!
Without a trace!
On your
It's weakened!
This ends now! Vacuum blade! Let me see what I can do! Can't get out of this!
Vacuum blade! Between heaven and earth, I'm never finished! A wailing banshee of
Not
lightning!
today! Vacuum blades!
In here!
Vacuum blade!
Rain down! It's about to
Such
strike!
unadulterated fury.
Look sharp, everyone!
Forgive me.
Try harder! Now!
This is...
Don't leave me!
Take this!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
I'll smash you!
Divine fate! A whirling
Leave me!
I'll bring you back from death to
Wind
death.
denied!
First force! Resuscitation!
There!
Get on in there!
Here I come!
This is... Negative gate!
I can feel the medicine working.
Imbue this vanquished soul with life! Resuscitation!
Magic is there! Feel!
Not done yet!
Heal my weary companion!
Annihilation!
Vacuum blade!
Rise and rend!
No!
Can't end here!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
I'll bring you back from death to death!
Can't get out of this!
Resuscitation!
Take this! Heal my weary companion! I'll smash you!
Don't suffer in silence.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Out of the woods.
Leave the charges to me! I'll face you!
That's it! They're not playing around!
Swallow them!
Feel! Get on in there with the others!
Shine! Radiant light! Boost of regeneration! Watch this! Talon hurricane!
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
We're friends for. I depend on this.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
I can carve through armor! Shine! Radiant light! Boost of regeneration! Far enough!
Lightning! Go down! More with that lightning!
Yeah, appreciate the concern.
The sooner you stop thanking, the sooner you can start helping.
I mean, yes, sir. I'd let you all down.
I couldn't make it in time.
If it's in a bind,
This debt shall not be forgotten.
Damn it! Where are you going?
I need something.
You need to be healed.
How the mighty have fallen.
Lightning condemned! Resuscitation! A chain between heaven and
radiant
earth!
light!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Winds of heaven! First force! Cyclone!
This one's all mine!
I'll bring you back from death to death! The waters of creation! Ready to go!
Swallow this! First strike! Elusive deal!
Watch yourself.
Swallow this!
Incredible power.
A whirling one will save you!
Winds of heaven! First force! Searing flame! Reload!
Not my fight!
I will tell you all!
You're mine!
Healing circle! Magic is there! I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Hearts required!
Sorry to trouble
I'll bring you do the same for me. There! Raging sword!
In a bind?
More resurrection!
Swallow dance!
Dance in the wind! And thrust!
You picked the wrong fight!
A whirling circle! Let the mark begin! Winds of heaven!
Where are you going? Watch this!
Time to make whatever you're doing seems to work.
It's this! Punch until I can't punch anymore!
I almost feel sorry for your opponent.
I'll face you!
Rob,
Awesome!
Steel force! Burning strike!
Anything in armor is all mine! That's not my fight!
A whirling
Negative
circle!
gate!
I'll bring you back winds of heaven! First force! I'll bring
Bloody
you back from
howling.
death's abyss!
This one's mine!
Sleep now, hold on to your heart.
Negative gate.
Here I come! Take this!
Swallow dance! Ready and ready!
Out of ammo!
Eat this!
Resonate with the earth!
I can carve through armor! I'll finish you here and now!
ongoing.
Don't get in my way!
Working.
First strike! I'm all swallowed! My astral
Can't get out of this!
Annihilation!
Such unadulterated fury.
Vanish without a trace!
Swallow this!
Energy!
Regenerate! That freaking does it!
Being interrupted.
Swallow dance! Not my fight.
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! I'll bring you back from this one's mine. Resuscitation! That'll bring you down.
Oh, you are gonna pay for that! Denied!
Here's the healing.
Too slow!
First aid!
Bloody holiday! Anything in armor is all mine! I'm on a roll now!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
You require a hand. Steel! In a bind? Talon Hurricane! Death shattering my pieces! Attack time!
Focus your attack!
I'll face you! Swallow dare!
Pierce evil
Seismic
blade!
rupture!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Death
The
blossom!
waters of creation!
Down on the ground! Swallow dare! Rotating pile time!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Swallow dare! Resonate with the earth!
Frostbite! By the power of water!
Swallow dare!
Such unadulterated fury.
Illuminate the pillars! Holy land! A chain between heaven and earth!
Take this!
A wailing banshee
Not
of
my
lightning!
can't be
happening!
Ignite!
Raging
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation! Breath of life! Heal my wearied companion! They'll pay for the cure! From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation! Swallow dare!
Can't be happening! Still got some fight left in me!
Rip it! Come on, that frickin' does it! Not my finest.
I can feel the medicine working.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Poodle! Resuscitation!
I can flip her.